Rappers that were robbed. Too rich for regular. The more money a rapper accumulates, the bigger target he places on his back for would-be thieves and opportunistic friends that take advantage of the rockstar lifestyle. Which rappers are taking their eyes off their most prized possessions? This is Too Rich for Regular, from rap to the streets and everything in between. But before we get started, if you're here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and join Too Rich for Regular. We're uploading all the time, so don't miss out. As usual, we save the crazy for the ending, so stick around. This is Rappers That Were Robbed. Migos. Migos and Chief Keef's Glow Gang have beefed in the past, but things flared up in November 2014 when the Atlanta trio were performing at the RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. A fight broke out when Quavo had his chain snatched off his neck after the performance. Logically, Migos assumed that the theft had been carried out by Chief Keef's Glow Gang crew due to their historical beef. Soon after, Chief Keef, in all his wisdom, posted a picture on his Instagram of the stolen chain with the caption, "What's this?" This obviously didn't help and confirmed Migos' suspicions. The photo has since been deleted, but someone should remind Keef that screenshots last forever. Not long after the incident, a group of DC rappers called the Leg Team claimed to be responsible for the snatch and run of Quavo's chain. Quavo then released a song titled The Truth, where he calls out the people who took his chain, referring to the thieves as Little Boy. He also describes how the chain was snatched and then warns the Leg Team that Migos have their name and addresses. By December, apparently Chief Keef and his Glow Gang crew met up with Migos, returned the chain, and the feud was officially extinguished. The following year, Migos was interviewed by Vulture with Quavo and Offset commenting that the beef between Chief Keef and Migos was fake internet beef. This feud was so short-lived it suggested that Migos had already produced the truth prior to Quavo's chain being snatched. Young Dolph. Who in the world travels with almost $500,000 worth of jewelry in their car? Young Dolph, that's who. Back in 2019, Dolph was out for a bite to eat in southwest Atlanta, leaving his car in a Cracker Barrel car park. A man ran into the restaurant yelling that someone was breaking into Dolph's custom camouflage-painted Mercedes-Benz SUV. Young Dolph rushed outside, but it was too late. Thieves had made off with a list of jewelry including a Richard Mille watch worth approximately $230,000, 2 diamond chains worth approximately $57,000 and $27,000, a Patek Philippe watch worth approximately $85,000, and Cartier sunglasses worth an incredible $24,000. And that's just the jewelry. Also swiped in the heist was a firearm, a Pirelli backpack, an iPad, and his $3,000 MacBook. The police investigating the crime said that the robbery was unusual in a number of ways, because in the surveillance video, they see the thieves enter the vehicle without forced entry, almost like it was staged. Travis Scott. Crowd surfing looks like so much fun, don't you think? Well, if you're considering giving it a go, then we don't recommend trying it at a Travis Scott show. During his performance at Open Air Festival in Switzerland, Scott jumped into the crowd for a spot of surfing while wearing his brand new Yeezy Boost 350 trainers. With Scott surfing the crowd, one opportunistic sneaker enthusiast tried to pinch his new kicks straight off his feet mid-surf. Outraged, Scott homed in on the robber spitefully, directing the crowd to get him. Chanting and swearing, fans grabbed the offender, punching and kicking him before even Travis Scott joined in on dishing out some justice, throwing a bottle of water, a microphone, and spitting on the would-be thief. The sneaker fan was quickly escorted out of the concert by security, no doubt for his own safety. Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy's home was ripe for the picking when the Atlanta rapper was taken into police custody for a probation violation following a hearing in April 2019. In Soulja Boy's absence, his Los Angeles home was burgled, and Soulja Boy believes the robbery was an inside job. His inside job theory is supported by the fact that Soulja's property is difficult to find unless you're familiar with the area. His home surveillance footage shows 5 men that seem to know the floor plan perfectly, heading directly to the rapper's safe. Allegedly, it only took the men 5 minutes to complete the whole operation. The hustler's sticky fingers got into the safe and lifted Soulja's chains, earrings, a cell phone, and luxury watches worth over $500,000. They then cleaned out the other safe in his room, pocketing another $100,000 in cash. These guys may be quick, but they're not the brightest criminals in the world. They used the stolen phone to access Soulja Boy's Instagram account and then bragged to his 5 million followers about robbing Soulja's home. Taking things a step further, the thieves then sent private messages to several of Soulja Boy's celebrity followers, claiming that they were Soulja's new artists, and that Soulja Boy wanted their music videos posted on the celebs' Instagram accounts. They even had the audacity to ask for guest verses. Remarkably stupid, but hey, no guts, no glory, boys. WAKA FLOCKA Flame. One morning back in 2010, back when WAKA FLOCKA was an up-and-coming artist, the Atlanta rapper drove himself and a friend to the Bubble Bath car wash. He parked his car, had his window rolled down, and turned his head to talk to his friend when an armed man ran up to the car and stuck a gun in his face. Initially confused, WAKA thought it was a prank by one of his friends, but he quickly realized this wasn't the case and started brainstorming an exit strategy. WAKA wanted to get out of the car to defend himself, so he decided the best way to get out of the car was to start handing the assailant his jewelry. He had a ring, a watch, a chain, and a bracelet on at the time, and started to take each piece off and hand it over, hoping to satisfy the mugger. Flame then pretended he was having trouble getting his chain and watch off. While this was happening, the offender let his guard down and allowed him to get out of the car. The last item to come off was a Breitling watch. WAKA hung the watch on his fingertip, and when the gunman reached for it, WAKA leapt towards him. In that moment, the assailant shot him and fled the scene immediately. The bullet hit FLOCKA's right arm and punctured his lungs, broke a couple of ribs, and landed in his back, causing vision and memory loss for 2 weeks. Flame was convinced that the man who shot him in the arm was actually a hitman sent to kill him, but believes he was too scared to follow through with the hit. 3 years on, and WAKA FLOCKA Flames believes that the life-threatening incident was a blessing in disguise, as it boosted his popularity, credibility, and made him a wealthy man. Pop Smoke. Brooklyn rapper Pop Smoke burst into the spotlight in 2018, and clearly destined for success, because 2 short years later, Pop was renting a $2.5 million mansion in the 2000 block of Hercules Drive, Los Angeles. Pop's tragic story begins on the 18th of February 2020, when in a series of bragging Instagram posts, Smoke accidentally doxed himself to all of his followers. Posting pictures of gift bags, luxury cars, and stacks of cash outside his extravagant LA home is one thing. Accidentally showing off the house's address in the background of a photo? Well, that was an invitation for disaster. On the 19th of February, the following day, up to 6 masked men entered the house, firing several shots, hitting Pop Smoke multiple times. Despite being rushed to a West Hollywood hospital, the rapper was pronounced dead just a few hours later. There's been no arrests in the crime, and while Pop Smoke was affiliated with the Crips, police aren't ruling out a simple robbery gone horribly wrong. DaBaby. Sometimes it's the rappers that do the robbing. Case in point, DaBaby. On Christmas Eve of 2019, DaBaby was enjoying role-playing Santa Claus as he spent the day handing out gifts to underprivileged children in his hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. A few hours later, he was arrested for possession of 14 grams of green in his vehicle. Fortunately for DaBaby, the sheriff's department had the Christmas spirit and opted to issue him citations, followed by his release in lieu of making an arrest. After New Year's on the 2nd of January 2020, DaBaby was yet again arrested, but this time for being involved in an alleged robbery in Miami. DaBaby, along with a few members of his entourage, met up with a couple of music promoters who owed him a set fee to perform at the Cafe Iguana Pines in Miami that same day. Apparently, his performance fee for the day was $30,000. But when the cash was exchanged, DaBaby noticed he was $10,000 short and began demanding the rest of his money from the promoters. Tempers flared over being shortchanged, and a physical fight reportedly followed, with DaBaby punching one of the promoters. DaBaby and his entourage then attacked and robbed the other promoter, Kenneth Carey. They pulled his pants down, beat him up, and then drenched him with apple juice. They raided his pockets, stealing his iPhone 7, a credit card, and about $80 cash from his wallet. DaBaby and his crew fled the scene in a black SUV, but DaBaby was eventually taken into custody after the 2 promoters positively identified him. The Miami police did not charge DaBaby in relation to the robbery, but when they learned of an outstanding warrant for his arrest in Texas, they booked DaBaby on battery charges. The rapper was released 2 days after being locked up on the Saturday evening when the warrant for his arrest was withdrawn. His bond was set to $1,500. Money just evaporates around DaBaby. Not only was he shortchanged $10,000 for his set fee, but he is now being sued by Kenneth Carey for $6 million. You made it to the end. Thanks for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Did you learn something new? Did we leave something out? Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, or both. Let us know in the comments if there's other crazy topics that we can cover in future videos. This has been Rappers That Were Robbed, and you're watching Too Rich for Regular. See you next time.